Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting edition of our technical analysis series. Today, I am thrilled to bring to you a fresh and insightful analysis of the gold spot commodity following a highly successful week where we raked in close to 1,000 pips in profits from our previous technical setup. In order to provide you with a comprehensive view of the current market structure and uncover potential trading opportunities, I have conducted an in depth analysis, and in this video, I will share my findings using simple setups that will effectively guide us through the current market structure. Throughout today's analysis, we shall rely on the power of trend lines, key levels, and chart patterns, which will allow us to extract valuable insight from the historical price movement of the gold market. In fact, gold came under pressure during the midweek of last week, but managed to hold above the key zone at the 1,900 mark and even recoup some of its losses to incite a potential emergence of a bullish momentum as we approach the upcoming week. Before we dive into the technical details for today, let's take some time to reflect on the key moments from the previous week. By doing so, we can gain a clearer understanding of where we are coming from and better anticipate the potential path ahead of the upcoming week. And with that being said, here, let's dive right into the previous week where we were able to scoop over close to 1,000 pips in profit. So during the first half of last week's trading session, it was more of um, buying the gold commodity. As you can see, the first thing we saw at the beginning of the week was this beautiful range where price action was caught within the 1,920 zone and of course the 1,914. And you know how we do it when, especially when we have price action trading above our week's key level, which is at the 1,912. We are going to be looking out for opportunities to buy. Though we have a little breakdown of the 1,914, which didn't last long, as you can see here, and we anticipated a buy position after placing a buy stop order above the $1,914 level. And since then, we continue to rather move all the way to the upside, as you can see. So it was more of buying during the first half of the week, as you can see here. Then something interesting happened during I think, Thursday, following the ADP data that came in beyond expectation positively for the dollar, which spiked a bearish momentum. Let's see when that one happened. I think it was on Thursday. Okay, I think it was right here. And we anticipated a sell below the $1,914.50 level, which got triggered. And we wrote that move to some points to about I think we were able to scoop close to 100 pips on that one before the Friday's trading session when we anticipated the NFP data. And while anticipating the NFP data, we noticed an ascending trend line, which we said we were going to use to guide our trading activity for the last day of the previous week. And with a breakout retest of the 1,912, we had our first buy position for Friday's trading session, and we rode that move all the way to the upside, scooping over 500 pips in profit on that single move. So it was quite an interesting week for us on the XAUUSD. And for those who would like to review this commentary for educational purposes, I already have the link to this to this commentary in the description box of this current video. And if you are watching from my YouTube channel, you will be seeing the link at the top right hand side of your screen. So, with that being said, here, let's dive right into the business for today. And in fact, in anticipation of the new week, what I was able to do here was to analyze the 4 hours time frame, where I was able to identify a simple setup that we can use to guide our trading activity for the upcoming week. And one of the first thing I did here was to try to understand the nature of price action since the beginning of the month of June. And one interesting thing I was able to observe here is the fact that price action has been bearish. And when we connected the series of lower highs here, I was able to identify a couple of trend lines which I think we can use to guide our trading activity for those week. And this went further emphasizes the strength of the sellers in this particular market. However, something interesting happened last week, which um, need some level of attention to it. And that is the fact that despite the lower highs we have been noticing here, we noticed that throughout the course of last week, sellers struggled to find lower lows. As you can see, what happened as soon as price action got into that $1,900 mark, we begin to see buy pressure around that area. Now, look at what happened the first time on Thursday of the of 2 weeks ago. We saw buy pressure resume here, and during the course of last week's trading session we saw a higher low here, giving us a clue that buyers are gradually gaining momentum behind the scenes. And whenever we start seeing higher lows in the market, it is a clear sign that we should be anticipating a bullish momentum. So with the appearance of higher lows here, the next thing I did was to connect a series of higher lows which gave us this ascending trend line, which definitely we are going to be using to guide our trading activity for this week. And you know how we do it in this community. As long as price action remains above our ascending trend line, we have no other choice than to look out for buying opportunity and even feel comfortable in whatever buy position we are actually running. Now, in addition to this ascending trend line, we need a key level which we are going to be using for the week. Of course, it's going to be serving as a yardstick to help us maintain whatever perspective we are in. And with this case scenario here, I was able to spot something along the 1930 level has a key level that I will be using for the upcoming week. And if you look at this level closely, you will see how it has been a major determinant of price action since the beginning of the month of June. Look at what happened here. It was initially a buying niche. So what happened here mid-month of June, it was a buying niche as well as sellers struggle to break through that structure. And not until on the 28th of June that we finally saw the breakdown of the structure. And since then, price action has been trading below that level. And last week, despite the strong bullish momentum in this market, we saw how sellers were negating the buying attempts to break through that level. And look at what happened on the last trading day of last week. We saw another sharp rejection of that area. So at this point, you will agree with me that we are at a critical point in the market, and our center of focus for next week will be along the 1930. And one interesting thing about this zone is the fact that it also shares a confluence with that descending trend line, which has been supporting that bearish momentum in the last couple of weeks. Now, what I'm going to be looking out for going into the new week is to try and see if the market will break out of that structure, and coupled with the fact that we have been witnessing a higher low here, a build-up of bullish momentum, I'm of the opinion that we are likely going to be seeing a breakout of this structure. And in fact, when price breaks out of this descending trend line, it will be a clear sign that the trend line may no longer have the capacity to continue to negate the bullish attempt. And a breakout retest of the structure will be a very beautiful opportunity for us to be part of a bullish momentum. However, in as much as I'm looking out for buying opportunities in this market, it is very important we take into consideration the potentials of sellers too. And considering the fact that price has been respecting a strong descending trend line, we cannot ignore the potential of sellers too. And for me to sell the XAUUSD this week, I would rather see a breakthrough of that ascending trend line, which will be a sign that the trend line may no longer be able to hold on to the selling pressure that has been eating it since Thursday of last week. Then I wait for a confirmation which will reflect on the chart as a retest of structure or the trend line here to incite a sell-off in this particular market. So this is what I will be looking out for to sell the XAUUSD in the coming week. Well, before I close on the video, I'll always like us to take a quick look at the economic calendar. Of course, we all know that these fundamental factors often manifest on the chart in technical patterns and price movement. And by monitoring the economic calendar, we can easily identify potential correlations between key economic releases and specific technical patterns. And right here on the economic calendar, I was able to spool out a handful of high impact events that we are going to be looking forward to from the US economy. And the first high impact event would have been coming until Wednesday, July 12th, and that is the Consumer Price Index. The CPI is a key indicator to measure inflation and changes in purchasing trends. And this is one data the Fed will be looking forward to in anticipation of the interest rate decision coming up, I think, during the upper week of this month. Then, secondly, on Thursday, July 13th, we have the Producer Price Index, another very important event to look forward to. And on Friday, we are going to be looking forward to the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index. So, these are very high impact events that will have an influence on the current market structure. And of course, participants in the market will be anticipating this event and will be reflected on the charts as price action. So let's see what will happen at this point. So what I'm going to be doing here is to pause the video and let's see how participants in the market will be reacting to this current structure during the early hours of the week. And trust me, I will be with you in the comment section to give you updates on what I think will be happening after monitoring how participants in the market reacts to that level. If you found the content helpful and useful in making your independent trading decision for the week, I will greatly appreciate your support by giving the video a thumbs up. Your likes are valuable to me and helps the algorithm promote the video to a wider audience of traders who may find the material beneficial. Thank you in advance for doing so. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to follow me on this channel for more of this content. By subscribing, you always stay updated with the latest ideas I share and, of course, receive notifications whenever I upload new videos and commentaries. See you in the comment section on Monday morning as we get prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening and weekend, everyone. Bye bye.